Hey friends, welcome to FX Yogi. In today's video, let's learn about the monetary and the fiscal policy of New Zealand. The Reserve Bank of New Zealand, RBNZ, is in charge of the monetary and the fiscal policy of the nation. Currently headed by Governor Alan Bollard, the RBNZ holds monetary policy meetings 8 times a year. The RBNZ is tasked with maintaining price stability, setting interest rates, and monitoring output and exchange rates. To achieve price stability, the RBNZ must ensure that annual inflation meets the 1.5% central bank target. Otherwise, the government has a right to kick the RBNZ governor out of the office. The RBNZ has the following tools in its monetary policy arsenal. The official cash rate OCR, which affects short-term interest rates, is set by the RBNZ governor. By leading 25 basis points above this rate and borrowing at 25 basis points below the OCR to commercial banks, the central bank is able to control the interest rates offered to individuals and businesses. Open market operations are used to meet the cash target or the amount of reserves parked in commercial banks. By forecasting the cash target daily, the RBNZ is able to calculate how much money to inject into the economy in order to meet the target. Getting to know the NZD. The New Zealand dollar is nicknamed Kiwi. It is a bird. It's a plane. No, wait, it's really a bird. The Kiwi also happens to be the national symbol of New Zealand. But let's focus on the Kiwi as a currency and its interesting characteristics. Since New Zealand's economy is mostly dependent on its exports of commodities and agricultural products, the overall economic performance of the region is linked to commodity prices. If commodity prices rise, then the amount of money paid for New Zealand's exports also rise, which then make a larger contribution to the country's GDP. Since a higher GDP reflects a strong economic performance, it could lead to an appreciation of the Kiwi. Conversely, falling commodity prices result in a low monetary value of exports, making a smaller contribution to GDP. A lower GDP could then cause the Kiwi to depreciate. Since Australia is New Zealand's #1 trade partner, the economic performance of Australia has a huge impact on New Zealand's. For instance, when the Australian economy does well, Australian firms pump up their importing activities, and guess who benefits from that? New Zealand, of course. Just like Australia, New Zealand enjoys higher interest rates compared to other major economies such as the US, UK, or Japan. Interest rate differentials between economies often serve as indicators of money flows. Since investors prefer to receive higher returns, they'd sell lower yielding investments in exchange for higher yielding assets or currencies. In other words, the higher the interest rate, the more money flows in. Because New Zealand's population is less than half the number of people living in New York City, an increase in migration into the country has a huge effect on the economy. This is because as the population grows, the demand for goods and overall consumption increases. New Zealand's economy is also largely driven by its agricultural industry, which means that severe weather conditions such as drought has a huge negative impact on their entire economy. Those heat waves are also prevalent in Australia, which is more frequented by forest fires, costing close to 1% of its GDP in damages. This does not do the NZD any good. That's all for today. Let's catch up in the next video with more information about New Zealand. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.